As we continue, let's talk with Bruce Padilla. He is with the American Heart Association. And again, Elizabeth, you brought Bruce here to the show. Super awesome. Bruce, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for bringing me here, too. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about the American Heart Association.
Well, Bruce, everybody, I would say, a lot of us, let's just say, have heard of the American Heart Association. Give us an idea. You're based in Houston, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Based in Houston.
Let's tell people generally about the organization here in 2023.
So the American Heart Association does all things heart-related. So we do research for heart disease. We do research to try to make hearts work better, parts for the hearts. We are constantly trying to innovate and help people with their heart health. And so we are looking at all different things like nutrition security, teaching people CPR, and just a number of things that relate to the heart.
That word I've not heard before until today. Nutrition security?
Yes.
Let's give people an idea of what that is.
So one of our key things for the last year or so and moving forward is nutrition security. It is so important for people to understand that nutrition directly relates to your heart health, mainly because when people are eating processed foods, those foods contain a lot of salt, they contain a lot of sugar, they're not good for your heart. And so we are talking about nutrition security, especially in parts of the cities that are food deserts, meaning there's no grocery stores within 2 or 3 miles.
That's distressing to hear that sugar is not good for the heart. I mean, in all seriousness, I'm thinking that many things in life, ingredients in life, like sugar, that's a natural. Mm-hmm. I think it's natural. So
yes, sir.
My guess would be that maybe in moderation, sugar, we want to have some sugar, and then again, carbohydrate in moderation. But, I mean, we hear so many bad things that, and we just talked about donuts. Not that long ago. And, oh, yeah, there's like I think there's a lot of sugar in a donut.
There's a lot of sugar in everything that people don't realize.
That's so another aspect.
When you look at processed foods, the majority of processed foods is sugar and salt. And so the reason they do that is because it makes people want to eat that food because it tastes better to people, because your salt and sugar nerve in your mouth, taste buds, they react more to that. And so they put more in processed foods, and it's really not good for you.
And it sends a signal to the brain that's a pleasurable signal in some cases,
mm-hmm.
I hear.
Exactly.
So
Bruce has got a really big job with American Heart. He actually has several jobs and several events that fall under his direction. And I'm hoping that he can tell us each a little bit about each one of those today, maybe starting with the Go Red for Women movement.
So the Go Red for movement started in 2004, so it's going to be 20 years next year. The reason the Heart Association started Go Red specifically is because women and a lot of doctors had not really thought of heart-related issues as a woman's thing. Everyone thinks it's a man's thing. And so a lot of women...
But everybody has a heart.
Exactly. Everybody has a heart. And a lot of women would feel things. They would go to the doctor and say, I don't feel right. And the doctor would basically say, take an aspirin and go home. You'll feel better tomorrow. And a lot of times that is the case. When you're having situations with your heart, it comes, you can feel something, and then it passes. And so it gets poo-pooed, and then they go home. And they feel better, but then down the road, something might happen. They might have a heart attack. They might have other things happen with their heart. And so they started the Go Red movement so women would focus on their heart health. They would, if they felt something that they thought was wrong, they would go to the doctor and say, I need you to test me to figure out what's wrong. And so the Go Red for Women luncheon was started as a way of awareness, raising money for the things that we do in terms of research for heart health. But it's been going on. Our luncheon is coming up on May 12th here in Houston at the Post Oak. We're expecting 600 women there this year.
In red.
In red. It's always red. It's a big red thing. But it's a big fundraiser for us in Houston and in a lot of other markets. We have this luncheon throughout the country, different parts of the
around the same time of year.
Actually, no. It's anywhere from, I would say, February all the way into May, depending on the city.
So here for the Houston listeners, again, if they want to participate, anyone can attend.
Yes, sir.
So the date again is
May 12th. It's on a Friday.
Friday night.
Friday afternoon. It's a
Friday.
luncheon.
Luncheon.
So it's
Luncheon.
actually a luncheon and expo. I'm glad that I remembered that. It starts at 10:30, and we have actually several different activities going on. So you can see how to do CPR. You can look at nutrition security. You can look at taking your blood pressure and finding out what those numbers should be. In addition to an auction, champagne, of course. Every luncheon has to have champagne. And then the lunch. And then this year, actually, here in Houston, we have Amy Grant, who is our speaker and our singer.
If they want to get tickets or attend, what is the website heart.org?
They can go to goredforwomen.org.
Okay. GoRedForWomen.org.
Yes, sir.
Right here in Houston. You can sign up and be a part of the super luncheon.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
There's a very, what I think is a really important part of the Go Red for Women is the statistic that 1 in 3 women die of a heart disease.
1 in 3?
1 in 3. And I want just for Bruce to just take a second and share with us about
Wow.
one of their national partners and what that national partner does actually for free during a certain period of time in May. Can you?
Yes.
Okay.
And so going along with starting the Go Red for Women movement, the Heart Association wanted people to realize that heart-related issues, heart disease, is the number one, I hate this word, killer of women. So 1 in 3 women die of heart disease or heart-related issues or stroke. And so our national partner, which is a great partner for us to have, is CVS. So CVS has clinics all over the country in their stores. And during the second week of May, they open up their clinics for women to come in for free. And they can come into any clinic and come to the pharmacy and say, I'm here to get my numbers. And that's what we call it, know your number.
Know your
so
number.
what that means is know your blood pressure, know your blood sugar level, and no other. What were the other
Cholesterol.
ones? Remind me. Your cholesterol.
Your good cholesterol and your bad cholesterol, and then your body mass index
Your BMI.
number. They're 5
Thank you.
of these particular points. The thing that's important about those dates, which is May 8th through May 14th.
Again,
You
May
ha-
8th
May
through
8th through May
14th for women.
For women, you register online, and it'll show you go on, it'll show you the zip codes and where you can go in to have this test done for free, and they will give you the 5 numbers, and it will translates to your risk factor. So they're making it so much easier for people from every economic level to have no excuse not to get in there. You can walk in, but you really should try to get an appointment before you walk in.
So sign up online, and the beauty of CVS, as we're saying, is it's convenient.
Yes.
You don't have to go through a doctor and all this.
No.
Just go, sign up, and go to your CVS, and you find this out during those dates, which again are
May 8th through May 14th. And they call their clinics in CVS, they call them Minute Clinics.
Minute Clinic.
Yeah, Minute, which is kind of catchy, Minute Clinic, but absolutely.
Say that again.
Minute Clinic. I did it.
You did it.
I did it.
That's why I asked you to say
I
it, because
know,
I
you
wasn't
were
ready
gonna-
for it. I
Yeah,
just
you-
didn't have the moves on that one. So, but that's great. So, but what about for guys?
Well,
What do
for
we do?
guys, this is
It's still important to know those numbers.
Yes, it is. It is
So
important
find
to know,
out the numbers
It's
somewhere.
important to know your numbers, and the most important number, really, I think, is blood pressure.
For all of
it
us.
should be 120/80. I know that a lot of doctors over in the past, several years, they've said, it can be as high as 130/90, but we have basically come to the realization that you really should strive for the 120/80 number, because that is the optimal number for blood pressure, and it's the most healthy number for blood pressure.
Well, in recent times, as in the last week, I have thought about the heart, as I mentioned before the show, because, yes, we take it for granted, but our hearts beat from the moment of birth. And take an individual that lives to be 30. That's a lot of beats.
Mm-hmm.
Then take someone in their 50s. That's a whole lot.
of beats.
And there are many of us here, especially I know a lot of people, or let's say at least 6 that are over 100. So you think about the work that the heart is doing and has to do every minute. How many
Absolutely.
times is a heartbeat per minute, Bruce? Let's tell them.
Well,
Roughly.
75.
75 beats per minute. So then the heart of a person
There
that's
goes the math.
50, I don't know the math there. It's
He's
too
gonna do it.
gigantic. But think about all those beats per minute, per year, per day, and all that. I think right there, that's a good incentive for us to be mindful of that and perhaps get heart healthier. I know that was a term for years, but do things that enhance the health of the heart because it's doing a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is the coolest thing that I've learned. I mean,
I
I've
have a
learned
heart
so
for
much.
this now. No, just, I don't want to get silly, but yeah.
Is this program that they have? Can you explain? You were explaining it to me earlier, which made me laugh because of the song. But kind of, I want you to have time to talk about the
Okay.
2 other events. But I do want you to talk about the CPR.
I will talk about this. So another thing about in addition to nutrition security that we're really, really working on currently is getting CPR, not only awareness, but CPR out into the community. So our goal over the next couple of years is to have every single household have at least one person know how to perform hands-only CPR. And the reason we're talking about hands-only CPR is because over the years and in research, we realized that you only have to perform hands-only CPR in order to keep somebody alive. And so the reason we teach that is because after the whole COVID thing, people didn't want to do full CPR and breathe
With the
into
breath,
their mouth.
put your mouth on, yeah.
And so if somebody collapses and you think they're going into cardiac arrest, then all you need to do is get down on the ground with them, put your hands on their
They
chest
need to be on their
properly.
back.
Yes.
So the person needs to be on their back that you're helping, and it's hands only. It's just your hands.
Hands only.
And where do you put it on
and
the
you
chest?
You put the heel of your hand on their sternum, and you put the other heel of your hand on top of your other hand, and then you do pressure. You press their heart
You pulse
to the
it.
beat of "Staying Alive," or
I knew you would love
Or-
this part.
I know the song.
to
I
the
know.
beat of "Crazy in Love" by Beyonce.
Don't know that one.
For those
but I
that are
know-
younger, and for even younger, to the beat of the Baby Shark song, which I didn't know that
and
until
I don't
yesterday.
know that song either.
So what the reason it's those songs, and there's several songs, is because they're 100 beats per minute. And so any song that's 100 beats per minute that you can sing in your head while you're performing hands-only CPR. And as long as you stay on that beat, you can keep the person alive until somebody gets there. And
That's a good word there.
So if you're in any situation and somebody collapses and you feel like they're going into cardiac arrest, the first thing you do is call 911, or you tell someone to call 911.
And then go attend
And then you say,
to the person.
do you know how to do CPR? And generally somebody will, or you do. And so you'll just start doing hands-only CPR until help arrives.
Or I might say, is there a doctor in the house while I'm getting over there
Yes.
to
Yelling,
just yeah.
But this is great information for your audience, and that, in addition to the May dates at CVS, that's some real take-home applicable value to learning about heart disease.
So we've talked about 2 things here as far as events go. Now, people can help all year long. The
Yes.
American Heart Association donations, if someone wants to make a donation of any amount, I'm guessing.
Any amount.
Go to the website. The website is,
Heart.org.
how easy is that?
That is
Bruce?
very easy.
Heart.org. And then the website for the event is
GoRedForWomen.org.
GoRedForWomen.org.
But there's another event.
Okay, here comes another event. And let's
There's
talk
2 more.
the Go Red for Women again. That is
May 12th
May 12th.
at the Post Oak
Friday.
Hotel. Friday.
Lunch in a beautiful place,
Yes.
Post Oak Hotel.
Gorgeous hotel.
And then yes, yet another one.
So the third one, we have a really neat event that is coming up, and it starts on April 21st, and that's called the Shop with Heart Card. And so this event is April 21st through April 30th. We have 152 retailers in Houston that are participating. And the way they participate is they sell the shopping card, which is the Shop with Heart card. They sell it for $50. 100% of the proceeds goes to the Heart Association. And the retailers that participate, they offer 20% off your purchase with the card.
Let me picture this. This is a card that it looks like a gift card.
Yes.
So it's a gift card for how much?
It's $50.
$50. I pay $50. I get the card,
Mm-hmm.
and then I shop with certain merchants.
Yes, and I will tell you that I would love to give a shout out to Cole Linscomb on Alabama in River Oaks. Let's call it River Oaks because I think that's what it's called. But Cole Linscomb is our title sponsor. They'll be having our kickoff party on April 20th, which is a Thursday night from 6 to 8. Everyone's invited. They'll kick off the event for us on April 20th, and that's Cole Linscomb.
That sounds great. Elizabeth, huh? Super things.
Yeah.
And you, I don't know, but I think you attend all these events, the organizations you're helping.
She does.
You attend all of them, I'm
Not
guessing. So you're like the
all.
busiest person in town.
Well, not all of them, but as many of them as I can go to, that I can fit in. And then you give out at a certain point and have to recharge, and then you
Yeah.
go again. But yeah, they're great events, and you meet wonderful people like have been here today, and the community is just so generous. So it's a wonderful philanthropic city.
And before we close, we want to remind people of the events, and there might even be another one. But before we get there, I want to ask, we talked about sugar
Yes.
and salt, because people
Yes.
listening, one of the takeaways I know I want just being here, but if I'm listening, is that, man, I want to maybe be healthier with my heart or do healthier things, eat healthier food. So what are the good things that we should be ingesting that help our heart? We know that sugar and salt, not good.
So I will tell you,
But what can we do?
one of the best things for you to do in terms of nutrition for your heart is to shop the perimeter of the grocery store. So
Yes, I love this.
you walk in the grocery store, you go to the right, it's typically the bakery. You keep going, it's produce. You keep going, it's dairy. Keep going, it's meat. And then
And then we're all on the edge of the store
yes,
right now.
everything in the middle of the store generally is processed. Everything
That's
on the
where the
outer
cookies
perimeter.
are.
There you go.
That's where
Everything
the
on the
bread
perimeter,
is.
everything in the perimeter of the store is not processed, and that's where you really want to focus. So one of the things that we work on in terms of nutrition security and the reason it's so important to stay in the non-processed foods is because that's healthier for your heart. But so many people don't have access to healthy foods, so we do go into underserved neighborhoods we go with food pantries. We have food kiosks. We have produce kiosks that we take to different areas. One of the areas specifically here in Houston is the Third Ward. They're very underserved, and they are a food desert. But we have I forgot what it's called.
Snap.
A vegetable truck.
A vegetable truck?
A food booth.
Yeah.
I can't
A
think of the
pop-up
word.
food
Oh,
booth.
there you
wagon.
go. A pop-up. It's
Yeah.
a pop-up produce stand. And you can go, and we do those periodically, and you can go, and they actually even take SNAP. So they take food assistance cards, so you can pay for your vegetables using your SNAP card.
Well, I'll tell people I'm not nutritionist or any kind of expert on the heart, but I will say this. Common sense tells me I want to be doing some exercise too.
Yes, sir.
And one thing I've done for years is a little bit of exercise every day, mostly walking, cycling, a little bit of rowing. But that's super important, not just for the body,
Yes.
but the mind. So I want to
Yeah.
encourage people, if you're not doing that, get out there and
Get your
walk.
steps in.
Get your steps in. And the beauty of the iPhone is I check my steps every day. It makes it easy as long as
But
you
it
have your
makes
phone.
you feel guilty if you haven't made
Right.
your steps too.
having
So
enough
well,
steps today.
well, one of the things I do, if my steps are a little low, even when I'm in the house, I make sure the phone's with me every second. That
There
way
you
I
go.
can get credit for the
There-
5 steps across the
there you go.
room. Am I the only guy that does that?
No,
Probably
you're
no,
not.
I
I
don't
don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, that's awesome, Bruce. Let's tell people, as far as anything else that we need to know, again, to be, what about drinking water? I guess that's good for us with the heart.
Oh, yeah.
What about coffee? Is that, we hear, every now and then we hear a story about coffee. I just had a lot of coffee today. And we hear sometimes, hey, coffee's the greatest thing in the world. Then every once in a while we hear that it's not. Do you drink coffee?
Yes, I drink coffee, and yes, coffee is good for you,
There you
but
go.
not in excess. But anything in excess isn't really that good for you.
Do you drink
So-
coffee, Elizabeth?
Yes.
Let's
I
all
drink
have some coffee sometime.
I drink coffee. I drink hot tea. I actually like to drink hot water. So, and
Wait a
then,
minute.
there's
Hot
that
water.
after 5 product I like to drink as well.
What about wine? That should be good
That's
for you.
my
They say
absolute
that.
favorite thing. And yes, I am no doctor, but I am an authority on having good wine. So
She loves her some red wine.
I love my red
Let
wine.
the word go out. No one in this room is a doctor that you're going to
That's
hear
exactly
from today.
right. That's
and
exactly
we're
right.
okay with that.
Yes. Yeah.
Red wine. Okay, so what's your favorite red wine? Top 2 favorites. Let's tell people.
It is so
Do you like the
hard.
Cabernets? the
Yes, I definitely
Merlots?
like Cabernets, but I'm a pretty big favorite person of California. I'm a domestic
I love
wine
the
drinker,
California,
so not that I won't drink the other, but domestic. We have some very good vineyards, and so yeah. I
My
enjoy-
logic tells me, and it could be totally flawed, but if I spend $10, $20 on a bottle of wine, and it comes from California, it's closer, less shipping, versus a $10 bottle of wine from Chile. I mean, I'm thinking that $8 of those dollars are just transportation. So
That's good
Huh,
logic.
is
I
that-
like the theory.
okay, you like the logic?
I like
yeah,
the
yeah.
logic.
There's a little bit to
I
that
like
logic.
the logic there.
All right, Bruce is with me on that one.
Yeah,
So-
I got
All right,
you.
so let's tell people, here we are. We're talking with Bruce Padilla. He is with the American Heart Association right here in Houston, Texas. The website is heart.org. So you're out there driving, you're saying, what's his website? Heart.org. You don't have to write it down. It's too easy. So what else should we know, Bruce, about your organization before we close this segment?
We do-
Any more? I bet you have another event or two.
we don't have another event coming up soon, but we do have the annual Heart Ball in February. That's our biggest, really pretty much our
February,
biggest
so we're
fundraiser.
already
That's
talking
February.
next-
We're past that. But next year, I do want to mention that next year is the Heart Association's 100th anniversary. So it's our centennial.
Holy smokes.
And it will be a big year for us in terms of everything that we do. So every event we do is going to be bigger. Our expectations for fundraising are going to be bigger because it's the 100th anniversary, and we really
100 years.
100 years.
Oh,
And
that's-
there's so many things that we have done as an organization that most people don't realize in terms of research and what we've created and what we've invented. And I would love for people to know about that going into our 100th anniversary. And
Congratulations.
and as somebody
your
who has
organization.
only been with the Heart Association for less than 6 months, I don't even know a lot about that. But I need to learn about it so I can tell people what we've invented and what we've helped with, because it's a big thing. But no, I'm so happy that you've had me here. I really want people to know that they can come to the luncheon, Go Red for Women luncheon on May 12th at Post Oak, and that is goredforwomen.org. And then they can do the shopping cart event on April 21st through 30th, and that's shophouston.heart.org. And so there's so many things that we do. And the beauty of what we do as the American Heart Association in Houston is that all the money stays here in Houston.
Right here in
and
Houston.
Even though we're a national organization, the money stays here because so much of the research we do is here in Houston because of the medical center. And so it's everything that we do is so vital for heart health for women and men. Know your numbers.
Know your numbers. That's a good word. I love the deal where you go into CVS if you're a woman, again, between the dates of
May 8th and May 14th.
May 8th to May 14th. As a woman, you could go to CVS, check online, and what's the website there to sign up for that?
CVS.com.
CVS.com. It's great that they're everywhere and helping out. Thank you so much. Once again, Bruce, the website is
Heart.org, or the luncheon is goredforwomen.org, or the shopping cart, shophouston.heart.org.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being with us.